Hi, I'm Vasundhara, founder of Read to Lead. And we as a forum, as a club, come together. Earlier, we used to come offline, now online. First Sunday of every month, 9 to 11 is the time that we block for discussing a book. And most of the time, we have an author speaking to us, talking about his or her book and giving the perspective, author's perspective. Or sometimes it is industry specialist who is coming and talking about the book, which actually has got certain changes or had a great impact on his or her life. Similarly, Feb, we had an author speaking, and we had Suhayl Abidi sir coming for the second time on Read to Lead platform and blessing our forum. And he spoke on his latest book, that is VUCA in Startup. If I may say, sir is now the specialist, the ultimate name in VUCA knowledge or wisdom or category. You just Google and you will know why I'm saying so, because he already has, two earlier books and so many articles, and he gives training and he speaks on the forum as far as, the VUCA concept, challenges, and the solutions are concerned. So thank you so much for the session today. What an awesome session it was. The feedbacks are still pouring in, and everybody has got, worth their time that they spend in the morning, right from students to corporate executives to entrepreneurs to housewives. I got a call from a housewife, and she is now motivated that, if age is not a issue, even what I have done so far as a housewife is not an issue. I can always do something and look forward to an entrepreneur journey. So I think that was so motivating. Thank you so much for an awesome session, sir. So
Recognizing it.
So to begin with, why did you think of, obviously it was in the series, but why did you think of writing a specific book on VUCA in startups?
Yeah, startups is a recent phenomena. VUCA has been there for ages. I mean, it is only now entering our consciousness. But VUCA never went. I mean, from the earlier days when Genghis Khan, invaded Europe or Middle East, his army could travel 100 miles in one day when the average traveling speed was 12 miles a day. So he could reach before even the scouts can come and tell you about that an army is coming. He could reach beforehand, and he could, with the element of surprise, he could create havoc in the opposing side. So VUCA has always been around, but now it is in the last 20 years, I would say, it is gaining prominence because now we see it in our everyday life. And every person is being affected by VUCA, especially if you have seen earlier during the financial crisis, but now more in the COVID, every person on this earth and every business was affected by it. And more so the startups, because startups need a bit of time to put their thing on the ground. Startups generally, especially technology startups, are those people, founders, who have a in-depth technological knowledge, but they have not seen any
Business
way forward during such tumultuous times. So at times it is possible that they may lose heart, they may lose their way. And today, second thing is that today everybody wants to be a startup. Whatever, at least the young people, their first choice, it was not so about 20 years back. In fact, it was looked down upon that you are doing a startup, you are throwing your family's money, or you are wasting your time, do some job. That was the middle class aspiration. Join a multinational or a Tata or that was today. Even the parents accept that a person, yes, will do some startup. Third is that today loss of 2-3 years is not considered a disadvantage. Earlier on the gap, if you go to a company and you show a gap of 3 years, what were you doing? I was doing a startup. Why you did not stay there? It was a failure. Oh, you failed. It was a sort of a black mark on your CV. Today, people ask you, you know, have you had any failures? So they want to know whether you have the power of resilience. So things have changing, and so I thought that I would take a. We are a group of people, and we run a research center called Center for VUCA Studies in MIT University, and we helped. We convinced the chancellor to give us an opportunity to go deeper into VUCA, do more research, and see its impact on various corporate functions, because everything is changing. HR is changing, marketing is changing, strategic planning is changing. Nothing is what it was pre-COVID. So we thought that we would spend some time and exploring this phenomena on Indian companies. We have a lot of cases on company Amazon, every second magazine, or there are so many books. But on Indian companies, how they and what are the common reasons for their success, so that you do not repeat the you may make new mistakes.
Yes, for others to at least learn.
Should not repeat the old mistake which somebody has made.
See.
You take it from there. So these are some of the motivations which prompted us to write this book.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Every word is true. I think the glamour part of the startups is, greatly portrayed in media. And that's why, that has become, a great career to have. But the challenges part, they need to be aware about. And I think that's what this book does. And it was a need of an hour, and thank you so much for coming up with that book. And your recall of story of Changej Khan, that was also, I think that was mentioned in your first book, VUCA company. Right. It is such an interesting story, and you've used it as a metaphor.
Startup. He remains my favorite startup.
Absolutely, it was really great.
Came up from a slave. There are many such stories in the Indian history also. People who came up with nothing in their hand and they made big empires. So this startup as a career is not new.
Absolutely.
That emphasis has changed today.
Absolutely. And I always ask this question to every speaker. How did you enjoy speaking on a forum, Read to Lead, sir? How was your experience?
I enjoyed tremendously, because the forum consisted of people who are active inquirers. People are ready with questions. They want to know a little more than what has been told. So I think that for an author, that challenge is very important. First of all, I believe that you should not expect what author has said is truth. Always challenge him. See what are the pitfalls. What are the lacuna in the research. So that he also becomes better in future. And we are also expecting our authors that when people read, already some 600 to 700 copies were sold prior to the launch.
Oh, wow, sir.
I do not know, but if you do Google search and put the word VUCA and startup, not VUCA startup, not the title, but just VUCA, our first two, search, results will be our book only.
I did search for it, and I did see the results, sir.
So that's why because people already in book club, they come ready with the expectation that they will learn something new from books.
Right.
You are not introducing to a skeptic.
Right.
You are not convincing. You are already talking to somebody who has decided that he will spend an hour, 2 hours
learning and this.
So you are already talking to a person who is already convinced the power of books.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. And what next? We are just waiting for the next book, and then next, and then next.
Our article writing continues. You know, we have already written more than 100 articles, and we were the first to introduce VUCA in the Indian media. Our was the first article which appeared, which defined what is VUCA.
Yeah.
We have already more than 100 articles in India and abroad. So this article writing continues when we find more and more, we discover more and more experiences of what VUCA is doing to various aspects of business. So that prompts us to write, on various aspects. Regarding book, we have want to carry this series further into newer areas.
Wow.
So our next book most probably will deal with people who have faced bankruptcy. I mean, bankruptcy means who have lost everything and then came up.
Zero. Okay.
Zero to, zero to hero.
Oh, wow. Superb. It will be very, very interesting read.
Who lost their homes, they lost their cars, they lost their whatever business they had built up. And then on top of that, loan and, other things. And still they came up. I mean, you must have read this news some time back that after
CCD.
the founder of Coffee Cafe Day died.
CCD. When you were saying, I was thinking about the woman of, yeah.
She paid off all the loans.
Yeah.
When he died, things were very bleak. But people get strength in adversity.
So true, sir.
That is the biggest thing. Once you have that strength, then other people come forward to help you.
So
they will not come forward to help you to a whining person who is always crying over spilt milk or who is always saying, "Arey, mere saath aisa kyun hua? Bhagwan ne mere liye aisa kyun kiya?"
so
This is the type of people. The second is who said, "Okay, this is done from today, not from tomorrow, but from today, I will make it different." So once you make that change, then people come forward to help. Yes, somebody who is already doing something to come up, I will give. So then they start collecting people who they will lose those people who are fair weather friends.
true.
Real collaborators, real friends, real help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have seen myself, I have seen friends. 90% of your friends will disappear. अरे पता नहीं ये उधार मांगने आ
कभी
गया,
मांगेगा कुछ या
इसका तो जॉब भी चला गया, ये क्या करेगा, है ना? तो but times do not stay constant for everybody.
So true.
People do come up with great deal of adversity. My very close friend, he died last year. He even had to sell his wife's jewelry, everything. Wife did not retain even a single thing to make ends meet. He lost his job, but then he became India's first, you can say a literary agent, who promote other books to publishers, and all that. And for a BA third class, I always education got in this world that paper education has no meaning. It can make you literate. You can count numbers. You can write a good letter. That is very important. But beyond that, your education has to come up in this world.
Absolutely.
From your experiences, from other people's experiences. And that is true for everybody, whether you are in a startup or you are in a job.
Absolutely.
Or even a housewife has to prepare her children for this world. You cannot today give them a pampered life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even those who are very rich, they are also aware of the fact that their wealth may not last, but the experience will allow people to their children to make a life for themselves.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. It was just great experience interacting with you. I hope the new book comes up fast and we have you again on our Read to Lead forum.
We'll meet next month.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Bye.
Bye.